Hello everyone, my name is Samantha and I'm just gonna be showing my project that I've been working on. I was working on creating like a client server model in Python just to learn more about networking. While I was doing it, this is kind of what I figured out how to do and what I've seen. So that's what I'll be showing you right here. So I'm going to move my terminal for a second. And so what you're first going to see right here is this is the server side of my of the server and client model that I'm using. We were trying to write it I was trying to write it in TCP so that I wouldn't lose any of the bits, because what I've written is basically going to send a message and then echo it back. So if I say, "Hi, this is Sam," from my client, the server is supposed to send back, "Hi, this is Sam." So kind of what we're looking at right here is I did use Socket, which is a Python library. This is kind of what helps me to create that interface and create like the sockets for my client and my host. So basically you create a loopback interface. So like the local host is what it's normally called. And then it is just host, and then we set the standard IP address. And then we created the port for like them both to connect to and send out the information. And then coming up next, it's basically establishing what our socket needs to do. Like I said, for this server, it was creating an echo. So it's stating what it needs to do and stream it by tying the socket and the network port together. So like we set up here, you see like the host, and then here's the port, like the client's connecting to essentially, and then it's listening to it. And then once the invitation is like, once the connection has like made it, essentially what it's going to do, as long as it's connected and it's true, the data that it receives from it, it's going to send it back. If it can't receive that data, it's going to stop. And that's going to like, basically you'll lose all of that data, and it tells the client that. Essentially that's why it's the TCP, because we're not losing any of that. Well, I guess if we do lose that data, it's not just going to send like whatever little bit it could, like it will wait until we can get all of the information. So this is the server side. This other side over here is the client. It's a little bit simpler. So you still have to basically establish the host and the port, and like I imported socket, so that hasn't really changed. But what you're doing here instead with the socket is once it connects to the port, what it's going to do is send this message, which in this case is just "Hello World." And after it sends that message, it's going to make sure that that data was received using like the 1024 code. And if it was received, what the server's going to do, because they're working kind of in tangent, where essentially client sends the message, server checks that it got it all. If the server gets it all, it's going to send it back to the client. So what we'll see printed back right here was that it received the data, and it will say "Hello World." So just to kind of show you how it does it, I'm going to play. And you have to open it in, I guess it's not going to let me do it. I should have cleared it, but you basically need to open it into a split portal. So one side essentially is going to be the server side, and then the other side is going to be the client. So you can kind of see my previous attempts, but right here, essentially what you're going to do is you're going to get the server going first. And once the server is going, you're going to come to the other terminal. So here's one terminal and here's the other one. Once you get the server going, what you're going to do is you're going to run the client. So essentially what happened, but just took a second, is that it kind of looks like the connection refused. But then once it hooks up, you see right here, it says connected by 127, and it gives the port number. So you can see on this side that it worked out well. And then once you see that, you come back onto this side and you can see that it received hello world and then parroted it back to us. So that's just kind of the basic of how the client server works. So I hope you enjoyed.